The word luck is a lazy word. It's very lazy. We use luck when we're too lazy to find an explanation for why certain events occur. How can you throw a lucky punch? There is no lucky punch. And if there is a lucky punch, let me be the one who's getting lucky and you be unlucky. And you can scream to all your friends and tell your son that I beat you with a lucky punch. You can have that excuse. People are saying that Danny Garcia threw a lucky punch to score the first knockdown against Amir Khan. Now, Danny Garcia is a Philadelphia fighter. He comes from Philly. And the left hook is one of their trademark punches. Fighters from Philadelphia, like Joe Frazier, they are known to keep their chin low and hurl a hard left hook at you. Or several. You know what I mean? There's no luck involved. When Danny threw the first hook, he kept his chin low. He kept his center of gravity low. And threw the hook and it landed. Where's the luck? Khan has a glass jaw. Garcia can punch hard. No, Danny doesn't throw cultured punches. No, he doesn't. That's not his game. At least not in this fight. He knows Khan's reputation of not being able to hold big punches. So he gambled on it. And it's a good gamble. I mean, Danny wants to hit you hard. And as often as possible. That's what Danny wants to do. So he loads up. Yeah? And if he's loading up, because he's got slow feet, and you have fast feet like Amir Khan, and you stay in range to get hit, please don't talk about lucky punch. Amir Khan is fighting like he has a cast iron chin. And he doesn't. Now, I asked Black Vengeance if I could quote something he said earlier today. And it was about another excuse people were making for Khan. Oh, Danny Garcia's dad goaded Khan into slugging with him. Now, don't get me wrong. Black Vengeance was right. No, he didn't. Black Vengeance pointed out all of Khan's deficiencies. And he did so accurately. But I just want to say, so what if Danny Garcia's dad did goad you into slugging? So the fuck what? That doesn't take away from Danny's victory. That's gamesmanship. And you got gamed. You got gamed. Boxing isn't just in between the ropes. Boxing is the psychological shit. The exchanges are going between the two camps. It's like when Derek Chisora and Don Charles had the little split. Now, I'm not saying that had a bearing on the result. But yo, it wasn't a good look so near to the fight. Fighting a dangerous opponent. It might have made Hay and Adam Booth think, yo, we got them worried. They're worried about us. We haven't seen them do this before. We can use this. And it may well have had a bearing. And did you notice the Hay camp? Yeah, this is our best training camp ever. David is beating all his records in circuit training and weightlifting. This is the first time he's been injury-free for years. This is the best camp they've had. Yo! They had people coming out saying, boy, I've never seen David look so possessed in training. I've never seen him so focused. That's getting back to the Chisora camp while they're splitting up in the documentary, in the Beyond the Ropes documentary. When Tyson fought Frank Bruno the second time, Tyson used to hang with all them psychos. I think one of them name was Crocodile. So, them man in fatigues, you know what I mean? Some hardened thugs from the hood. I don't know what Tyson was doing with them. I'm not sure if Tyson and Bruno's dressing rooms were adjacent, or if they managed to find a room near where Frank Bruno's dressing room was. But apparently what they did in this room that was near Bruno's dressing room, they started banging the walls. Yo, no, fuck you up, man. Fuck you. Yo. And they were banging the walls. Was that unsporting? No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't unsporting. Bruno's job is to fight in the ring. That wasn't unsporting. He should have been focused on beating up Tyson. Because Bruno did look scared coming out there. But then again, he was fighting Tyson. But he looked really scared. It's not unfair. Because it's not the first time it's happened to Bruno. Tim Witherspoon said the first time when he fought Bruno, he stared him in the eyes and got all up in his grill. Yo, you want to go now? You want to go now? And he said he saw just a split second in Bruno's eyes where he didn't want to engage. He said, gotcha. Now look, there's a lot of men who bark really loud. And they've got an intimidating presence. But these guys don't work out. They don't go gym. They don't do boxing training, martial arts, or anything. And they shut a lot of people down. But yo, I mean, what are you going to do? And I'd say 98% of people back down. I'd say 98% of people back down. It's like in school. You get some dudes who never fought. And they've got fearsome reputations. And nobody ever saw them throw down. And look, if they're going to get by on that, I don't blame them. It's a foolhardy tactic if they're really soft. Because one day, somebody might say, yo, I don't give a shit. You want to go? Let's go. But yo, if it works, it works. Alan Minter said to Marvin Hagler, no black man's ever going to take my title. That didn't stop Hagler from doing what he had to do. Hagler fought controlled. Aggressively, but controlled. Bernard Hopkins said something similar to Joe Calzaghe. No white boy can beat me, but Joe beat Bernard, at least on the scorecards. I don't think he won that fight, but you know what I mean? He beat him. I mean, if we're talking record books, he beat him. Stop with that bullshit. So what if his dad did goad you into it? That's your fault. That's not Garcia's dad. He's not getting in the ring. So what are you telling me, Amir Khan fans? Amir Khan is so stupid that he went inside the ring thinking about Garcia's dad. Talking about magic carpets, letting you fly back like Alibaba or whatever he said. Well, if that is true, that just exposes how weak Khan's own game plan and fight plan was. That somebody external, not in his camp, could disrupt it. And it also exposes Freddie Roach of how weak a motivator he is, as well as how technically deficient he is as a trainer. Bottom line. And don't get me wrong, I like Amir Khan, I like the guy. But another thing, and it wasn't just one person, oh, the referee stopped the fight early. Did you see the licks he was taking in his head? And look, let me show you something about boxing. Let me explain a few things, because a lot of people said that Derek Chisora shouldn't have been stopped. Now, a lot of you think that the referee is just assigned to the job And he has nothing to do with the build-up of the fight until he gets into the ring. He just sits on his ass, and then on fight night he turns up and officiates the bout. No! No! Look, when a referee starts, he gets 4 rounds and 6-round fights. Yeah? Because if he is given fights over a longer distance, the more chance his inexperience is going to show up. And it could be at the detriment of a fighter's record. And his health. Yeah? So they blood them in with 4 rounds, 6-round fights. Then they move them up to 8. Now, when they're just in these early stages, they're not given high-profile fights because the media glare and the public glare is going to be on them. And it's too much pressure for them. Yeah? This is how this works. I'm just showing you how it works. Plus, when you're talking about championship fights, there's people who have backed a lot of money behind their fighters. And it's just how it goes. They're not going to be too pleased to have a novice refereeing their fight. And money talks. These guys have clout. And sounds fucked up, but it's hierarchy. So we've established that now. Now, a high-profile fight like Hey and Chisora, the referee who is assigned to that job, he doesn't just turn up on the night. He has to know the history of both fighters, the things they might try to get away with in the ring, their temperaments. He has to know all that. So the referee who is refereeing Hey and Chisora, he's not just a referee. This man has boxing knowledge, or he can't officiate them bouts. So he knows Derek trains on having an iron chin. It's one of his primary assets, is an iron chin. So when he sees Derek on the floor twice and his legs wobbling, he knows Derek don't go down for no pity-pat punches. You have to have hit Derek with something. Yeah? He knows Derek's mannerisms more than what you think. He has to know this shit. And what you have to remember, this is the referee's job. The more competent he is, the more high-profile fights he gets, the more he gets paid. It's his job to know that. It's a job. It's a profession. Don't tell me that was no premature stoppage. Yeah? It was Frank Warren's promotion. Derek Chisora is Frank Warren's fighter. You haven't heard Derek say it was controversial, but you're saying it's controversial. Chris Eubanks' his son, he's a professional fighter now. He was trying to say that Khan was stopped prematurely. Khan was in worse trouble than Derek. Did you see Khan's legs? Legs gone. His face was bruised up. Yeah? And look, referees have to gauge certain things. Yeah? Yeah, you could carry on. But he saw the way Danny was punching, and he wasn't letting up. Danny wasn't letting up. Danny was throwing hard shots in there. Yeah? He knew if he let that carry on and Danny hit him with a couple more of them, we could have been talking about a fatality now. No exaggeration. Because I only saw highlights of the Morales fight where he floored him with the left hook. I saw the Kendall Holt fight. But I didn't realize the guy could punch as hard as that. Even if some of the shots are telegraphed. They were some of the hardest punches I've seen thrown this year. Some of the hardest. And then you add to the fact that Amir's genetics are not very good. He's not robust enough to take big shots in a fight. It's just not him. It's just not him. It's like Johnny Owen when they found he had a thin skull and shit. Yeah? Can't take them punches. Michael Gomez said that when he floored him and he hurt him with them body shots. Hurt him really badly. Willie Lemon floored the guy. Do you think the referee isn't aware of Khan's history and how vulnerable he is to big punches? The referee knows his history. He didn't just come in there and not know who Khan was. Didn't you see when he was running, turning his back from Garcia? A man was thumping him in the back of his head, because that's the only place he could hit him. And that's legal. If you run, then you're allowed to aim at the back of the head. That's legal, because you're running. You're not allowed to turn away. In fact, if you want to get really technical, the referee could have disqualified him for turning around. The referee could have disqualified him from turning around in the battle. You're not allowed to turn away from your opponent. That's a disqualification. And don't get me wrong, some referees are corrupt and they're paid off. But these are not accusations that you can aim at the referees in the two big fights yesterday. No. That was as comprehensive a beatdown you can get. So I don't want to hear no excuses from Khan, Freddie Roach, or Khan's fans. Yeah? Be a little more like Derek Chisora, who just came out and said the better man won, and let it be. It's like Carl Froch and Khan have been going back and forth for a good few years now. And Froch, who always speaks his mind, he used to call Amir Chinny. And apparently, Froch has been quoted in the Ring Magazine website that if he ever took a beating like Khan took from Garcia, he would retire, 25 years of age or not, which is what Khan is. And you have to ask yourself, where does he go from here? Because, once again, his fans are saying, oh, rematch. There's no grounds for a rematch. And look, you think it's a good idea to put Khan back in there with old Iron Fists Garcia to face that kind of power? And he can't really drop down too far a level. I mean, who are we going to put him in with? Lucas Matisse? I don't think that's a good idea. And look, if he moves up to welter, he's just going to be facing more powerful opponents, and his chin is not going to get any better. His chin hasn't improved from lightweight to light welter. It's not going to improve. And what's he going to do? Drop down to domestic level? Fight Kell Brook, Frankie Gavin? I just can't see where he goes from here. Peace out.